Hi, this is my Strength Quest assignment, and I'm going to be talking about my 5 strengths that I got and just more in depth about how I discussed it with people and how it aligns with my educational philosophy. So, the 5 I got was restorative, positivity, learner, input, and arranger. And when I saw these, I was like, oh, some of them make sense, but there was 2 that I was like, I wasn't so sure about, and it was input and arranger. When I read those 2, just before reading the context of it, I was like, I'm not sure, because I'm someone that is more empathetic, and I was surprised that I didn't get empathy as one, because after with like dealing with my own things growing up with my like education and like family things, I empathize with a lot more people and their feeling like and what they deal with their lives, because not everyone has the same life, and it's important to empathize with that, because I can't treat one person the same versus another, because that's not fair. And I was surprised I didn't get empathy as one, which I was kind of made me question if I am empathetic, but I've been told by a lot of people that I am. And even asking my friends about this, they were surprised that I didn't get empathy as one. But input and arranger, I was kind of taken back by, because I never thought of myself as someone that input things and someone that arranges as much. But then I realized after talking with some friends and stuff that, and some coworkers, because I work at a school as well, so I realized that those 2 do align a lot with me personally. And I'm someone that if I don't have knowledge on something, I will do my research and understand it so I could understand a person or a thing better, because I never want to be biased or about anything, because I think it's unfair, and I don't want to treat someone one way and then that's not. I want to make sure I have all the best resources and information to do that, because I started working with students with autism a while ago, almost a year ago, and I didn't have much prior knowledge to working with students with autism. So I did my research. I got all information, and that really helped me understand. Like, I went on YouTube, the eyes of students with autism, and I made sure I understood every person, and that helped me cultivate better relationships with the students I worked with, and made me make them have a more cultivating learning experience and teach them things. And also, I was learning through that as well. And arranger, I'm someone that I realize that, like, as I have a checklist right here for assignments, I need to arrange for myself to ensure that my brain isn't overwhelmed with things, because that's how I function. And I think I could see that working well as being a teacher. And for the other 2 I got was positivity, learning, and restorative. I'm someone that is very positive, because regardless of things in my life, because I dealt with the past 2 years I am dealing with my mom with stage 3 cancer, and I never saw that it didn't hinder me as a person, which I was very conscious about, because I want to take everything in my life happens for a reason. And I know that is going to only strengthen me. So that's why I take everything with, although it's okay to feel hurt and sad and acknowledge those emotions, but later, like, learn through them and then make sure that you are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I never want any student or any person to not feel what they're feeling in that moment, because I'm not instantly saying, oh, this bad thing happened. instantly you're positive. It's all fine. I want them to learn and grow from it. Because I'm not saying what I dealt with in my life was easy and then the next day it was all positive. That took time for me, and that was a cautious thing for me to do. And I want people to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, regardless of if a student's struggling with reading or writing or even emotional things that are enabling them to not do an activity. I think it's important to take things step by step and making everything in a student's life a learning experience. And that's my output. My outlook on life is that everything that I'm dealt with in my life is a learning experience, because if my life was the same every day, if I was doing the same thing every day, there's no growth in my life as a person, and I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I feel like as an educator, that's important to make each day in the classroom a different learning experience. Challenge them, stimulate their mind with new things and activities, and because that's how a person grows. Like, I know we're in the same classroom every day, but if you're changing changing activity, not the curriculum, the activities, and going outside and doing an assignment, something as simple as that, kids are gonna understand and want to be engaged in what they're learning. And that ties in with being a learner. I am someone that loves to learn. I appreciate that early on in my life because I went to 2 different schools that were more of a lower socioeconomic background, and I saw that learning was the only strength I had. And I have 2 parents that didn't go to college, and they had their high school degree, and that was it. But my whole time growing up, it was just learning is the only thing that someone can't take away from you. It's not saying get a degree and get a job, but the knowledge you have as a person, regardless if it's things about the solar system or experiences in the classroom, that's something, that knowledge and experience, that no person can take away from you. And I want to translate that message to students. And I am someone that's a learner too, because growing up, my parents didn't have the resources for me to learn about puberty or body, or like my body and my mind, my thoughts, and they came from very low socioeconomic backgrounds, and they didn't know how to teach me life things. And the only way that I was able to do that, they always said, go read a book, go do this, go. They took me to the bookstore every Friday, and I read any book I wanted about how to talk to a friend or stuff like that. And that is something that engaged me in learning and beyond that, and how to interact. It just, learning is something that is innate in me, and I don't see it, learning means you're smart. I see it as learning makes you grow as a person. And I feel like that's the best thing that a student can have. And restorative, I'm someone that problem solves. Sometimes there's times when I just want the answer right there and then, but I'm learning how to take it day by day with restoring and resolving things. I don't need an answer right there and then. I need to take each step and each day with doing that. And talking to my friends, they were saying that a lot of it aligns with me as a person. The problem solving one is, I'm just someone, when I restorative, as a friend, I'm more of a listener, and I feel like communicating is more listening rather than speaking, because I've been told, and this message has been embedded in my head, is like, if you're listening to a person and you're thinking of what to respond, you're not really listening. And that is something that I've always translated with communicating with people. So restorative for me is figuring out, listening, and hearing what they have to say. And I'm still learning how to take each step at a time and not having a 5-step plan for a person or myself right there and then. In positivity, I am very optimistic. And I am, like I said, I when I'm sad, I acknowledge that and I let myself be sad, because that's how I'm going to grow as a person. But then I see the outcome and I see if learn from that outcome. And my friends say I'm a learner because I always research things about anything, because I this is one day, well, not one day, I'm in a relationship about 6 months ago or so, and my boyfriend's an introvert, and I never really met anyone that was introverted. So I did my research and my learning about that so I could understand him better as a person, because I knew I wanted to be with him. And I wanted to have the right resources and understanding of him as a person so I could have a better relationship, and rather than not, I didn't want everything. I don't know how to explain this. It's like I wanted my relationship to grow with him. And the only way for me to do that is to understand him. And I did that through my research and understanding and watching and communication. And a ranger, and like I said, I need organization in my life. And I didn't understand the term, but like once I saw that I'm a productive person when I break things down day by day, because I can't do one whole assignment one whole day for me. It's overwhelming. I need to break things up day by day, and that's how I work as a person. And the educational philosophy that I feel like my personality aligns with, which I did talk about in my paper, is like John Dewey and Aristotle. You are what you reflect, according to Aristotle. And for a long time growing up, standardized testing was a big thing, and that's something that really hindered me, because if I didn't pass the test, I didn't think I was smart. And that's how it was growing up for me. And I was just like, I'm not smart. But the older I got, the older I was, I realized standardized tests don't define me as a person. It's what I learned in the classroom. So I never wanted that to be a reflection for me. And I like Aristotle's philosophy as well as John Dewey, and making education based on social interaction. I learned so much through people. Those are the best things I've learned about, is through teachers and communication amongst one another. And those are the conversations I remember. I don't remember some history stuff, some from like junior high, and that's not something I connect with. I wanted to do education because every person that's been in my life made me who I am today, through conversations and understanding and learning through different people's backgrounds, and that just immensely impacted me as a person, and I wouldn't want it any other way. And how would that strengthen me as a teacher? I feel like we live in a generation now that we are accepting, or we are understanding that not all students are the same. And I never want to make a student feel enabled, like that they can't do something because a standardized test is given to them. If I know the student understands it, I'm going to do it based on their work in class, their communication, and group assignments. I don't want to critique a student based on homework. And I know that I did actually an interview with the principal for my other class, and at her school district, the kids from 3rd to 5th don't have homework. They have to read only 20 minutes a day, and they have to do 45 minutes a week of math and language arts on this program called iRead, I believe. I'm not too sure of the name, but I thought that was great because it helped. Not all kids are fortunate to go home, do their homework with their parents, and get the work done. There's kids that have to do their homework in the bathroom, or if it's too loud, or go outside and do it. And I don't want kids to feel like homework and tests define them. I will assess. I'm not going to say that assessment is not important. There's different ways of assessing, but I want kids, if a student is having a hard day and they need to take a test that day, I will condense the test and depending on the situation, and I will just maybe verbally ask the questions because I'm still assessing them. I'm still seeing that they understand the content. And my other ones, let me see. And I'm gonna do a lot of collaborative and cooperative learning in my classrooms to ensure that kids are knowing and learning about the content, not through me, but through each other. And I just want to make sure that kids are discovering themselves through the classroom and having fun in what they're learning. I never want a class to feel strategic and lined and desk like this, and I don't know. I don't think learning should be like that. It's not interesting. It's not fun. And I've seen classrooms like that. Even today, there's teachers that have desks that aren't fun and not fun. I don't want to use the term fun, but more like not structured. It's too structured. And I feel like it makes the kids feel not comfortable in what they're learning in. I don't know. Learning was such a big part of my life, and I've had downs and ups with it, and I was really fortunate to have educators and counselors who supported me throughout my life. Even till this day, I still talk to some of my teachers because they're that important to me. And they taught me that education isn't if you're intelligent, it's more than that. It just shapes you to be the best person you can be. And I feel like learning in the classrooms was more of me learning about myself through people's past experiences, through history and reading books and connecting with those. And I want kids to find what they love through the curriculum they're learning and how I teach it in different ways, through differentiated learning, through projects, and because I want to set kids up for the real world. A standardized test isn't the real world. They're not going to be filling out bubbles in a job. That's not what they're doing. They're going to be doing critical thinking. They're going to be doing PowerPoints, group things, and everything that I want to incorporate into a classroom. And there's one more. I just really enjoyed taking this quiz. It was very insightful, and I learned more about myself, and I didn't know some of those things were my strengths. And that's something that I found really cool. But that was my assignment. I hope this video wasn't too long, but yeah. Thank you for this assignment. It was very fun, and hope you have a great day. Bye.